can I just firstly say that we have seen extensive flooding and storms right across New South Wales. But those areas of Forbes, we've seen extensive flooding and storms across New South Wales. And when we have a look at some of our areas, we're seeing that our dams are full, our rivers are full, our streams are full, and this is causing water to overflow onto farmland. Now, yesterday I was out in the Forbes area, and when I was there, I was able to go up and have a look at the floodwaters. And when you look at these floodwaters, they're moving quite slowly. So it's moving towards the township of Forbes. I've spoken to the mayor over the weekend. I've also said that we will provide the resources that are necessary right now to support that community. But we also know there is another phase. As soon as these floodwaters go through, the New South Wales government will be able to stand side by side with these councils to ensure that we assist them in the recovery phase. Now, when we look at these floods that are coming down, they are slow moving. In some cases, we've been able to prepare the town to be able to evacuate. That evacuation order is telling 1,800 people to actually move out. 800 homes are going to be impacted by these floodwaters. This is also very disheartening. I've been talking about a bumper harvest in this particular area. When I was looking down yesterday, I saw farmland that has now got waters starting to go through their crops. This means that they won't get the same harvest that they were predicting several weeks ago. It now means that the crop, the quantity, the quality of it is going to be impacted. In some areas where we see barley and we see wheat being grown, it's now going to have mould on it. So this is a very difficult time as well for our farming community. We also know that as those floodwaters are moving at a snail's pace, in about 7 days' time, we'll see communities like Condobolin that will be impacted by flooding. So we might see sunny weather, but we know that those waters are continuing to move downstream. I want to thank the Mayor of Forbes, Councillor Phyllis Miller. I've been in regular contact with her, talking to her about the importance of supporting her community. I also know that neighbouring councils like Forbes, not only with Phyllis, but also with Ken Keith from Parks, wants to actually support those communities in those areas. And this is what's good about country people. They will step up, they will stand shoulder to shoulder with those communities that have been impacted by natural disasters. I also want to point out that we've had local land services that have been out there on the ground having a look at how we can support those livestock that need to be moved into higher ground as well. We've got the Central West Livestock Exchange Centre, which is able to take livestock if they need to be moved out of those floodwaters. Again, I say to the community of Forbes, please listen to the advice that is being given to you at the moment. This is about keeping you safe during this very difficult time. I also want to just mention around Operation Toole. This is nothing but economic vandalism. And I'll tell you what, this is an absolute kick in the guts for our farming and our mining industries across the state. They have been doing it tough. And when you see people that are putting cars on the rail network, potentially putting lives at risk, I'll tell you what, we will throw everything at you to ensure that this doesn't happen. We've seen where cars have been put on a track, trains have been derailed. This is putting not only their life at risk, but it's also putting the lives of those train drivers at risk. And we're not going to tolerate it. And I thank the Minister and the police for the action that is being undertaken right now to address this situation. We are wanting to actually we are wanting to see economic recovery back here in this state. And this economic vandalism will not be tolerated. And I say this to those protesters out there. You have a right to protest, but if you think by putting a car on the rail network is a way of protesting safely, then you've got a real shock coming your way.